I'd have never guessed this. I was on my day and
I tell my husband, because he'll be there every day.
Find the back, of course. The terrorists are going to have you.
Regular Common Council meeting, Monday, December 5th, 7:02 p.m. Roll call.
Fry,
Here.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Steen,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Walnuts,
yes.
Item is Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Confirmation of appropriate meeting notice.
Meeting was noticed on Friday, December 2nd. Agenda is posted at the post office, library, and city hall.
Council acceptance of the agenda.
Motion to accept.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Personal appearances, anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on anything that's not on the agenda tonight? Okay, we'll move on to alderperson vacancy. Well, earlier in the day, we had two candidates, but Mr. Kramer has withdrawn his consideration for it, so we're left with Paul Davis.
I'll nominate Paul. Nice, Chris.
previous
Nice.
council member.
Nice way to put it.
I'll nominate previous council member Paul Davis. District
second.
Alderperson vacancy.
Okay, a motion and a second.
Okay.
I'm married to his brother.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's fitting.
Maybe.
Had two wellnesses.
We'll see how they vote.
Swap the wellness out for
That's
Davis.
right. If there could be two wellnesses, there could be two Davises, right?
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of putting Mr. Davis back on the council, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed unanimously. Okay, you get to go to work already, so Cindy will swear you in.
Paul Davis, having been appointed to the office of District 3 Alderperson, swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of your ability, so help you God. If so, please say I do.
I do.
Congratulations.
Just don't get the Davis signs mixed up. The C. Davis is right here.
I think it'll be evident that
The P. Davis is over there.
He's much better.
Say what you will about phones, they sure are handy.
And thanks, Paul, for doing this to
No, thank you.
fill us out for 3 months or so, 4 months here.
You have an agenda?
want to share with me?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
If you need another agenda, I'd be glad to get one.
Oh, thanks, Cindy.
Is it out there? Do you have to make copy? If it's out there, I can grab it, Cindy. Okay.
Thank you.
We're at the minutes, so we'll go on to consider the minutes from November 21st.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Yep, yep.
Walnuts Davis?
Davis Walnuts. No, Davis.
Fry.
Fry.
That's right.
That's why I was kind of stalling, so you didn't have a chance to get back here. Any corrections or additions on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Finance Committee.
Make a motion to approve bills and payroll in the amount of $145,903.60.
Second.
Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Paul Davis?
Yes.
Fry?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Steen?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve City of Edgerton Resolution 2116, approving the write-off of 2014 delinquent personal property taxes in the amount of $4,971.70, contingent that all businesses that are still in business be notified in the paper.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Paul Metz,
Yes.
Sandy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Fry,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Steen,
Yes.
Motion passes.
And that's all I have for finance.
Thank you. Fire District, anything?
So, yes and no. Actually, our meeting for December was moved, so we did not have one last week. We will have one this Thursday, so you may want to remember to put it on the next agenda, please. But I can report on the process for hiring of the Deputy Chief of Operations position. There were 14 applications, and I believe 7 of them, Randy can help me with this, were moved up for an interview status. So 7 were interviewed and 4, I'm sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. 4 have been moved up for a second interview. So we're still working on what that will look like and when it will be. So hopefully at the next meeting, I'll be able to report more on that, so.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
it. Yep.
Next is to consider a one-year extension of the reimbursement agreement between the city and Dev LLC.
Background? Page 7 of your packet is a brief staff report, and that's followed by the agreement, which the request is for an extension. As indicated in the staff report, the agreement reached between a developer known as Dev LLC and the city 10 years ago is set to expire in December of this year. That agreement required that the city pay any developer that developed the second phase of their development for the extra capacity that they constructed in the detention pond that exists. The pond near Steve Hanawal's property, that's the pond to which we're referring. The developer built that pond to serve the entire subdivision, and only half of that subdivision's been developed. So now after 10 years, the agreement is set to expire, and there's conversation right now between Ilir Benushi and Dev LLC to try to utilize that pond capacity for basically the next development that comes along. And they haven't reached an agreement yet, but I think it's very impossible that they will. So the request is simply to extend this agreement for a year to give them an opportunity to conclude if they can reach some kind of agreement. And then what would follow, if they did, what would follow is, back to you, are a couple of agreements to clarify where this whole thing stands. So given that their negotiations are ongoing and it's still unresolved, we think that it would be advantageous to simply extend for a year.
Are there any downsides to extending?
Well, I guess someone could always come up with the downside. I think from the
But
city's
nothing fair.
perspective, it is the fair and equitable thing
Sure.
to do. We have an agreement with the developer who constructed a piece of public infrastructure larger than what was required at the time. And so we said that basically is, you've done that, that's for your next phase, and that's the way we'll consider it. So, that's probably the reason. We're trying to, ultimately, one of the things the city is after is trying to reduce the number of detention ponds that are out there, and allowing an agreement to be reached potentially between Benushi's and the Dev LLC may give us the opportunity to reduce the number of ponds, which is a reduction of operating costs for the city. So that's kind of our interest in trying to reach have them reach an agreement if we can.
We got one of the developers out here.
I'm going to make a motion to extend the reimbursement agreement between the city and Dev LLC for 1 year.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Paul Metz,
Yes.
Sandy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Fry,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Steen,
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you.
Good enough for everything.
Okay, consider mayor's appointments. Well, we've had an opening on Economic Development Corp. for quite some time, so I'd like to nominate Jason Price for that. If you feel you can vote on that tonight, it's fine with me. Otherwise, we can bring it to the next one for that, which hasn't met in a few years, so. And I also have Dave Kotwitz wants to get off the RDA, and Jason Price also said he would take that spot. So,
I don't see no problem putting Jason Price on. Do you know him?
I do not know him, so
Okay.
I don't feel like I can say one way or the other. I don't know him.
Do you would like to look up info on them? That's kind of, I think, why we do that. It's just so if you're not familiar with the person, you have the ability to have 2 weeks to learn about the person. So,
How will I learn about the person unless I, myself, or that's what I'm wondering. Am I given information from the city, or do I just look stuff up on my own? I mean, I guess I would ask anybody on the council if they know him.
I've known him a whole lot. Mr. Mayor, how do you know him?
And what?
he's a few years younger than me, quite a few, and he put in an application here, and it was Ma, so.
Does anybody else know him?
yeah.
I do.
Know of him.
He
And-
is.
His father owned a business in town.
Slight reputation,
What?
a little bit of a reputation, positive. That's all I know. I mean, I've heard good things about him. I don't actually know him very well myself.
Okay,
I have a good feeling about when I hear his name, I've heard good things.
good.
He's willing to get involved with more things too.
Good.
But this was a start
Fine.
for him here, and willing to help out with some aerial photography and stuff like that. He offered that
Fine.
to us, so.
Good.
I suppose I should have had a copy of his
Oh,
application here, but he's involved with photography with drones, so he can do some overhead stuff for it. Willing to help with that, so.
Good.
I'll make a motion then that we appoint Jason Price to those two posts.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a condition, we'll have to have Dave Kotwitz resign,
Oh, yeah.
possibly with a letter.
All right, then I'll,
I know he's been bugging me to find somebody for a year, but,
all right, so I'll make that part of the motion.
okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then we have all the Chris Wellnitz spots that I think we just put Corey in all the Dave spots when he took over. So if I haven't missed any, Chris was on an alternate on the board review, public safety, public works, and personnel.
probably not done all of those.
Never done personnel, obviously.
I will. I'll make a motion to appoint Paul Davis to all those committees.
I see you're still bitter about that.
I'll second. The board review already met this year. It's good till next year.
Yeah, that one won't have to do anything this year.
Just the personnel was one of those.
Yes.
Do you have a conflict with that, with Candy and myself being on that together?
That was my only question, too.
She was concerned about,
Brother-in-law.
My understanding is it's a very small committee.
right,
3, so, I mean,
meetings violations.
So if we're sitting together on Sunday watching the Packer game at our house,
like we were yesterday.
Paul and my husband and I, what does that mean, Bill?
You
We
mean
can't do
yesterday
that?
that you were enjoying yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a potential quorum issue there.
is it enough of a situation that he should not be on that, or I should not be on it? Or is it
The appearance of
such low?
impropriety. If there was someone else to put on there, it probably would cure that issue.
I don't
It
even
could be,
think
I
anybody
mean, this could
would.
be true of any council member. Just
Question
because you
it,
happen to be
yes.
related,
Yeah.
it may be more
Yeah.
apt to happen, but it could be true of,
Well,
when it's
you're
a
just
committee
telling me
of
that's on
three.
a regular basis, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But a larger group wouldn't necessarily constitute a quorum.
Right, we have many of our subcommittees are all three, so it's
Yeah.
very difficult to
Okay.
move the shell game
Yeah.
around. No, that's,
I thought they were more bigger, I thought they were larger.
yeah, all of the standing committees are all
And,
just.
you know, it's not like people keep track of what I do or what you do, so I think, well, it's up to you guys. I think what we need to do is be more cognizant on what's the best for the committee. And if we could have somebody that could be strong enough to be on the committee, that's all I care about. So to me, it doesn't matter.
So personnel right now is Jonathan, correct?
Yes.
Candy? Okay, so
Yes.
then it would, there's only 3 other people at table, obviously, that could fill that third seat if it isn't
Yeah.
Paul Davis.
I mean, so-
I'll trade one.
That's
I already got too many. I don't know what I want to trade even.
do you want to think about that one a little bit? Or,
Well, you got any personnel stuff coming up real soon?
Probably early in the year, yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Corey's on Library Board, Utility Commission, Parks and Recreation.
I used
Would
to-
you go?
actually used to chair that committee, I wouldn't mind being on
The Parks?
that.
Who's the chair now?
Jonathan?
I'm not saying,
No,
I'm
no,
just
that's
saying I
okay.
used to be, so I would
Well,
do like that committee.
Got experience?
Fine
That's
with me.
good.
That would,
That would be a trade?
that'd be all right.
The one I open.
That works. You
do I
know,
need to
He
make
has more
that-
experience to go there.
As an amendment to my motion? Or is that a separate motion?
was there ever a second on the, was there a second on the motion?
I think he
Okay,
seconded, but
okay.
I can amend it if that's easier.
Okay, the amendment would be to
To put,
put Corey on Personnel and Paul on Parks,
correct, and then Paul on the remaining
on
that are open.
the Board of Review, Public Safety, and Public Works,
Correct.
unless I missed something. Okay.
Oh, you don't have to go, that's right.
Okay. Everybody clear on the motion then?
Yes.
Cindy got the motion down, and the changes made?
So the motion is to put Paul Davis on Public Safety, Public Works, and Parks, and Corey Steen on Personnel. Correct?
Looks good from here.
So I think that's what it was.
Any further discussion?
I'm going to be off zoning board of appeals.
Correct.
Yeah, so there's a vacancy there now, but,
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're on as a
Citizen.
citizen.
Well,
Okay.
we're all citizens apparently on that board.
yeah.
What?
We were all citizens on that board.
Oh, okay.
What about, I was
Historic.
also on historic.
Unless the elected official that is on there wants you to take that person's place, then we have a limited number of elected officials, so you probably won't be on that anymore either.
Historic is Mark.
So there can't be
Define it.
two,
Then we'd have to find another citizen anyhow.
I believe
so.
that's, I haven't read that ordinance in a while, but there would be a limited number of alder people that would be
Yeah.
on that
it's always
committee.
just one older person.
right, so either way, you'd have to find a citizen.
Correct.
So-
Yeah, so that'll be the,
We'll-
what to fill
we'll
those
look at-
spots.
We'll look at that one.
Just one, I knew that you were going to say that, I just wanted clarification.
Yeah. So you just wanted off them? That's why you wanted to be back up here, huh? Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Randy Davis,
Yes,
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Fry.
Oops, jeez.
Yes.
I wasn't counting enough. Still passed. Passed by even better now. Okay, Mayor, Alderperson, and staff reports. Had an opportunity to help out at the outreach dinner again for Thanksgiving. More volunteers than ever, man. That was quite encouraging to see all those people up there helping out, and hardly anybody came up to eat and took care of them. took care of the deliveries. And then I'd like to thank everyone that has helped out with the Home for the Holidays. The parade had a lot of attention. There was a lot of people downtown. I was quite impressed. And hopefully people had the opportunity to go through Central Park because that's much brighter now. And there are going to be some people I'd like to thank for helping out. Jenny and Mike, Ramona, Jim Capellan, who was here earlier, Mark for all he's done with the worm and other things, Candy and Red, Cindy and Larry for all their help and hanging up in the trees. And did I miss anybody? Hanging the decorations.
And yourself.
Yes, yourself.
I can't thank myself.
We can. Thank you.
It was fun.
Yes, it was.
A real enjoyable night.
That was a really good parade it was. You know, a lot of people surprised we got down past Crescent Street. It really started filling up big time it was, you know, and there was the holiday lights downtown and park and stuff. Thank God, you know, we had people like Dolores Brown and Ted Brown to donate a lot of that money to the city. That was a really extra plus to get that ball going again.
I have a report, if you're finished. Just want to give it as part of the Parks Department, and also at this weekend, the Edgerton Vale Club, which we organized a work event down at Racetrack Park to begin on the trails that we've been discussing. The day was a success despite the weather and road conditions. We had 4 people show up to help. We worked on cutting trail that we had marked out previously with Kurt and Kevin from the Parks Department, who walked through it with me. We finished a quarter section of the trail, and then as of this morning, we finished the full length of it as far as rough cutting. So now next week we'll be organizing another day, volunteer day, and hopefully we can finish the rest of it as far as trimming and raking and getting everything ready for the winter. So that whole section, that whole ridge by the disc golf course will be snowshoeing, hiking, and mountain biking, beginner and intermediate trails.
Well, thank you.
Great.
Thanks everybody that's helped with you.
It was a good day. We had, after we were all done building the trails, we had soda and donuts and beer, and enjoyed it. So, hard work equals reward. So.
Thank you. Did you work on the old trail that hugs the creek too, John?
No, it was merely along the top of the ridge there.
Okay.
There's already an existing trail. Because the trail already exists on there, that's perfectly fine for all those activities listed, but this new section will then help bridge, will help complete that circle. Once we're finished with that, there is the ability for a person really to go the entire perimeter of Racetrack Park via silent sports, running and biking. So it'll be nice. And then hopefully the next step will be to put signage out there to indicate take a left to go, take a left if you want to do an intermediate or maybe an intermediate level trail, or follow this for the main course. So I invite all of you, once we're all done with it, to come check it out. It'll be really nice.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Thanks, Paul.